this video, I will explain LL1 parsing technique. LL1 means leftmost derivation and left to right scanning of the input string. So this is our assignment question. I will explain this LL1 parsing technique using this example. Okay. So this is our grammar. S gives AA, A gives BD, then B gives B or epsilon, D gives D or epsilon. So to construct LL1 parsing parse tree, first you need to find out the first and follow of all the non-terminals in your grammar. So here we have 4 non-terminals S, A, B and D. So what is the first of S? First of S, look at the rule for S. S gives capital A, A. So first of S is, here it is capital A. When the first of a non-terminal is another non-terminal, you need to take the first of that particular non-terminal. That is, here S gives capital A, small a. So first of A is B, and first of B is B or epsilon. So you can replace, you can take this B here. You can replace this capital B with this small b. So first of S is actually B. You can take B. Then B or epsilon. There is another option. Epsilon is also there. So you can replace this B using epsilon. Epsilon means nothing. When you replace B with epsilon, there remains D. So you need to take the first of D. And first of D is what? First of D is D or epsilon. So D comes in first of S. And epsilon is also there. So when you replace this D with epsilon, here remains epsilon itself. That means A gives epsilon. So what is the value of A now? It is epsilon. Then this epsilon can be used to replace the A here. Okay. Now what is the value of first of S? It is A. So first of S is B, D and A. Now what is first of A? First of A is, here it is B. B. And what is first of B? B or epsilon. B or epsilon. When you replace this B with a epsilon, what remains? It is D. So you need to take the first of D. So first of D is D or epsilon. D or epsilon. First of D is D or epsilon. So you can replace it with D, B, D, and when you replace this with epsilon, it remains epsilon itself. So B, D and epsilon comes in first of A. Then next one is first of B. First of B is B or epsilon. Okay, B can be replaced by small letter b or epsilon. So what is first of B? It is B or epsilon. Then D gives D or epsilon. That means first of D is small letter d or epsilon. This is how we calculate first of all the non-terminals in the grammar. Then next you need to take the follow. When you take follow, when you write the follow list, you need to consider the right side of the grammar. So follow of S is, you need to check where S comes in the right side of the grammar. There is no S here. So look here, S is our start symbol. So default follower of start symbol is $. So follow of S is $. And follow of A, what comes after A in the right side of the grammar? A. It is a terminal symbol. So follow of A is A. Then what is follow of B? B, where is B in the right side of the grammar? Here is B. Here is B. And what follows B? It is a non-terminal D. So take the first of D. First of D is what? D or epsilon. First of D is D or epsilon. And when you replace this D with the epsilon, what remains there? B becomes the last character. B becomes the last character. So what is first of B? First of B is all follow of A. All follow of A. So follow of A is A. So follow of B is D and A. Now what is follow of D? Where is D here? Right side of the grammar. D is here. Okay, and there is nothing there after D. So what is follow of D? All follow of its parent, that is all follow of A. So now this is our first and follow list for this grammar. Now we will construct the parsing table for this grammar. So to construct the parsing table, you need to consider the first list. Okay, first of all the non-terminal first. So here it is. When you construct the parsing table, you write column headings as all the terminal symbol and dollar symbol. Here terminal symbols are A, small b, small d and our dollar. And each row heading you need to specify it as the terminal and non-terminal symbols, that is S, A, B and D. Now you need to fill up this parsing table. So what is the first of S? It is B. First of S is B. So in the row of S, column of B, we will write the rule for S. That is S gives A. So here we will write S gives capital A, small a. In the row of S and column of B, we will write S gives capital A, small a. Then what is next one? D. S, D. In the row of S and column of D, we will write the same rule. That is S gives capital A, small a. And next is A. Here also we will write the same rule. That is A. Now what is next one? First of A. First of A contains B. That is row of A, column of B. We will write the rule for A. That is A. In the row of A, column of B, we will write A gives B D. A gives B D. And here also A D. That is row of A and column of D. We will write the same rule. That is A gives B D. A gives B D. The next one epsilon we will not consider now. Then take next one, that is B. Row of B and column of B. B. Here we will write the rule for B. That is B gives B. And D and D. Capital D, small d, we will write the rule for D. That is D gives small d. And now look at where epsilon comes in the first list. Okay. In the list of A, first of B and first of D contains epsilon. So you need to take the follow of that particular non-terminals. Follow of A is small a. Okay, follow of A is small a. So in the row of A and column of small a, we will write the second rule. That is A gives rule of A, that is B D. Okay. Then row of B and column of D, we will write B D. Here we will write next rule, that is B gives epsilon. It's a terminal condition. Similarly, BA, here also we will write B gives epsilon. And next one, DA, here also we will write D gives epsilon. Okay. This is how our parsing table, we will construct the parsing table. Now you need to consider a string. For example, BDA. Suppose this is our input string. Consider BDA. So to derive a parsing table, you need to start from the beginning because LL1 parsing is a top-down parser. So we will start from the beginning. Okay. So this is our input string. So our input string pointer, we will always scan the input string from left to right. So initially the pointer points to B. And we will always start from the start symbol. This is our S and the descent pointer points to S. So look here. L and D. Where L and D points? L points to B and D points to capital S. Okay. So what is the rule corresponding to this in the parsing table? For that is D and S. Okay. Corresponding to row S, column B, we have S gives AA. That is, we will expand the table like this. Expand the tree like this. AA. Now descent pointer always points to the leaf node. Now descent pointer points to capital A. Okay. Again it will check B and A. Row corresponding to A and column corresponding to B. That is, A gives BD. So this A can be expanded like B and D. Now the descent pointer points to B. Now the descent pointer points to B. Again it will check B, capital B, small b. Capital B, small b. We have another rule, that is this B can be expanded to small b. Now the descent pointer points to B. Then again it will check this B and this B matches. That is L equal to D. This pointer points to, lookup pointer points to B and descent pointer points to small letter b. These two pointer matches. So what happens, this look ahead pointer will be incremented by 1. Now it points to D and here also descent pointer points to capital D. Again it will check what is the cell corresponding to capital D and small d. Capital D and small d, that is D gives D. So this is expanded to small letter d and descent pointer now points here. Again it will match D equal to D. This look ahead pointer and descent pointer points to the same character. So again this look ahead pointer will be incremented. Okay. Now it points to A. Now it points to A. Okay. Now it points to A. And descent pointer now points to this A. Again these two are matching. Okay. And here there will be a dollar symbol after every input string. So these two pointer matches and then it is incremented to dollar and there is nothing there to match here. This is our last case. There is no expansion in the tree. So it will stop there. This is how our LL1 parsing works. Okay.